Hey folks, got my timer going. This is a film about time, believe it or not. You know, we bring you a lot of films about time. Jimmy Boy Wonder, Paris Cadort, or Crazy Ray. Well, this is a film that works right here. I'd like to call this Tracy Cadort. Okay, Tracy at sleep, or somebody at sleep, somebody asleep. Because what is the film we're watching here? We're watching the last of the RKO Dick Tracy films. This is 1947. This is Dick Tracy meets Gruesome. Yeah, and I like this film a lot. This film is probably my favorite of the Dick Tracy series, largely because, okay, now there's a number of reasons. One, it has Ralph Byrd playing Dick Tracy in this one, not Morgan Conway. Now, I liked Morgan Conway, but I do like Ralph Byrd. There's something more gentle and humane about his toughness. I like him. He's good. And he's working with his main characters again. Again, you got old Pat Patton in here again, played by Lyle Attell. Now, you think about it. The consistent line that runs through all of these films is Lyle Attell. You got different Dick Tracys, you got different Tess Truehearts in this one, and Gwen plays the Tess Trueheart figure. So a different Tess, a different Dick. Now we've got the same Pat. That's good. Okay, he's sort of the backbone. You know, like the backbone of our show is Smokey. The backbone of this is Pat. You know, the sidekick always holds things up, always the important fella. Pat's funny in this one, too. But also another reason why I like this film, okay? Thinking RKO 1947, who's working at RKO at this time in a heavy way? Not Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff. Boy, Bela Lugosi. Now, Bela Lugosi did work there with the Body Snatchers with Boris Karloff. But Boris Karloff is a man who does a number of films there for Val Lewton. Bedlam, Isle of the Dead, things like that. Some, Body Snatchers. Great scenes with him in that. And he's in this film. He plays Gruesome. Now, why is this called what I would like to call it Tracy Cadort? Well, Gruesome and this scientist, okay, the scientist, great names from the Dick Tracy films. Dr. A, initial, Tomic, Atomic, has developed some kind of gas that makes people freeze in position. And Gruesome and his buddies X-Ray and Melody Fisk want to get together with that stuff and throw it into banks. Everybody freezes. They go in and get the loot. Perfect way to rob banks. Okay. Now, you're going to see some great scenes in there of bank robberies where people are just all frozen, very much like Crazy Ray. So this film really goes back to the René Clair silent film. In its pedigree to some extent. Now, there's some other aspects of this film that are kind of funny. Thinking of the names, the assistant to Dr. Atomic is named I Am Learned. That's pretty funny. And the whole idea of how this film sort of plays out is really nicely articulated by time, because we've got this reporter who continuously wants to come in and say, I've got some stuff that I want to run, Dick, and I'm going to put it out on the airwaves, and I'm going to put it out there in the press. And Dick Tracy keeps saying, no, you got to give me 5 hours. You got to give me so many hours, and so on. And the guy says, okay. You know, he's not like the press today who's going to go out and run it without even asking you. Okay, so here at least he goes, okay, I'll give you this much time. So time plays a part in this film, not just in you can freeze time or you can freeze people, but you know, you've got this idea of, you know, deadlines for the press, and Dick Tracy needs time to be able to solve crimes. Likewise with this one, if you are a fan of that forensic science type of show, CSI type of stuff, you know, one of the things about Dick Tracy was that he always used gadgetry. You know, like he had a television watch, he had certain kinds of gadgets that he could use, right? Atomic watches and boxes that would do marvelous things. And of course, this is where the cartoon strip was sort of ahead of its time in some ways. Not that he was predicting the future, but that, you know, the idea of science and crime busting going together. Now, you're going to find that popping up in this film quite frequently, and you're going to find that one of his allies beyond Pat is going to be the scientist who is looking at dead bodies and things like that and saying, hey, you know, uses certain kinds of formaldehyde and things like that. Now, Boris Karloff is very good in this. This is the same year as when he appears in the Walter Mitty film, okay, with Danny Kaye. Remember, he plays sort of the heavy in that film as well. And they even refer to him in this film as, oh, it's almost like he's like we're looking for Boris Karloff. Okay, making a joke about the Boris Karloff. He's well known as Boris Karloff. And he's always chewing this toothpick, and he wears this makeup that looks him a little darker and a little bit sinister. And they give him great little throwaway lines, and some real stupid dialogue too. Okay, that actually Boris Karloff is able to handle and throw off and to, well, make it work. Now, Boris Karloff is a quality actor. He really eats the scenery in a positive way around all of these other people who are sort of over-emoting at times. Though I've got to admit, Ralph Byrd, I mean, he does a good job as Dick Tracy. And Pat, well, Pat's funny. Pat's very funny. This film was directed by John Rawlings. And John Rawlings is a guy whose name might be familiar to you if you know the Dick Tracy films, as well as, okay, because he did Dick Tracy's Dilemma, okay, and he also did The Voice of Terror, the Sherlock Holmes film, and worked a lot on these crime caper type of things. Well, you like gruesome? You like your films that are going to be on the dark side? This is probably one of the darker of the Dick Tracy films. I think you're going to enjoy it. Why don't you roll them, Smokey? Get me a little taste of some Joe here. I said roll them, Smokey, and I mean it.